going to show you how to remake this PlayStation CD for your album cover. Now you want to get a photo of a CD. You want to separate the base, this little bit here. Use the circle selection tool. Now there's definitely a way better way to do this, but I don't know, in my head this is the simplest way. Now you can do the same thing and take out the outer rim. Now this CD here is kind of gold. I want it more silver, so Command U, and I'm gonna turn this all the way till it goes kind of like bluish. Then I'll turn down the saturation. If you put it all the way there, it's just gonna be gray. Silver just has a blue undertone. I'm just gonna repeat that with everything else. Like, you see the difference? This is just gray, whereas this is silver, you know what I mean? I go to FX, I'm just gonna hit color overlay and color it red. Now let's go ahead and make the text that goes all the way around. There's probably a way better way to do this, but what I would do is I would just hold Command and click on the preview of the layer while selecting one of these tools, one of the selection tools. Right click over here and hit make work path. And I hit OK. Now what this will do is basically make a path like you would with a pen tool. Now click the text tool, click any one of these lines. So now you see the text has popped up. You see that little symbol there, that little circle will be around the ring, and you can hold Command and drag inside or outside. I'm gonna keep it inside and I'm gonna lower the size of it, lower the font size. I'm gonna turn on the opacity of the text to like 80. This is my holy grail of custom logos and stuff. I'm just gonna drag these in and add them and kind of put them everywhere. You can obviously use the regular logos, doesn't really matter. I like to just have custom ones because I feel like it tickles a part of my brain seeing, you know, a logo you recognize, but it's been tweaked a little bit. What I'm doing is I'm basically putting a gradient overlay on top of the little photo and the blend mode multiply just so that only the white aspects of the image are affected. If you feel like it's lacking a bit, you can always just add even more of these little details. And if you're asking how do I come up with what to add, but just Google these CDs or Google a bunch of these game covers, and you can find so many things to add on. Man, I'll show you this website right now. Like, you go to this website, thecoverproject.net. They have so many of these things, PS2, and you can see so many of these things. All you gotta do is just go click on one of these. Boom, you have this. Take this bit, you can take that bit, you can take all these like little text. Kind of like in music, how they just sample different things. You do the same thing. It's not copying, it's literally just sampling. Especially in this case, I'm literally trying to recreate something. Adding these tiny little details is what makes your thing kind of come to life. Real quick, I'm gonna just organize this layer thing over here because it's looking messy and it's a horrible habit no matter what, bro. I've been doing this since I was in the 3rd grade, and a lot of bad habits, a lot of bad habits have been cemented into me. You don't even have to like name everything, or just select everything and be like, alright, this, Command G, just like details, just small stuff like that, and you can really go a long way and save yourself so much. You're scratching your head trying to figure out, yo, where is everything? It's just pleasant for yourself. It's kind of like keeping your room clean, you know? You can't live in a hoarder house. But now that we have that, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the effect here. I'm just gonna right click on the gradient overlay, copy layer style, paste layer style. Let's add a bit of fake text. I honestly just don't even want to like continue this because I'm getting a bit bored. I'm just going to continue and add a photo onto this. So add your photo. You can use your phone photo. You can use someone else. I just Googled beautiful young man and this popped up. So let's just remove the background. This layer over here is basically going to be your background. I'm just going to name it BG for background. Now you see how these legs kind of pop down in the bottom? This is why you need a thing called a clipping mask. What it does is when you right click on a layer above and you hit create clipping mask, it's basically going to just make the layer visible over whatever the layer below it is. So you click it, yeah, that just disappeared. That's not what I intended to do. That's because the color overlay is on here, and it only makes the layer visible on top of whatever layer underneath it is. Now this is a bit tricky because the color overlay is on here. So what you're going to want to do is turn this into a smart object, and that should fix the job. And if you want to ever edit whatever is inside, you can just double click this and it'll be there. Okay, now let's add a filter to this photo because I don't like this default look. Go to image adjustment and go to gradient map. Now you want to add a color in the middle to add some more depth. Now you can drag this around and you can play along with the strength of the gradients. I realize I should probably readjust the size of this. Now there's one more thing you need to do real quick, which is duplicate this layer by hitting Command J. Make sure you right click and you hit clipping mask on this again. Now go to filter, blur, and go to Gaussian blur and increase the blur to whatever right now, and then lower the opacity. Now this will give that kind of dreamy glow to your photos, which you can adjust by increasing or lowering the opacity. Now let's add the title text. I'm just gonna adjust this font and play around with it. This is how I would do the font for the Resident Evil 2. I would just get your text, FX, stroke, increase the size to what you want. Now hit color, make it black. I'm just gonna search rock texture, file, new, paste it from the clipboard. Now I'm just gonna like edit this one photo. I'm using a gradient map like earlier. And then I'm gonna make this a square. Then I'm gonna just click everything, merge visible. This is where you go and you click one of these. I think it's this one. No, it's this one here, patterns. Now you can just click plus and this will save your pattern there. I'm gonna go back to my thing, FX, and now I'm just gonna go to pattern overlay and I'm gonna add that pattern I just made. After this, you wanna click bevel and emboss. Now you can adjust the amount of shadow you want on this. I'm gonna make it kind of like that. Then I'm gonna quickly just make that shape underneath with the pen tool. Now right click on your text, copy layer style, right click on your shape, paste layer style. Now honestly, the text needs to be a little bit more lively, so I'm gonna go ahead and remake that. And that's basically it. And lastly, let's just add a overlay on top to give it that dusty look. I've been recording for like 30 minutes with explaining, so this could be done really quickly.